Invitational GT Challenge series. This race is happening a little later than I would have liked it to, due to some Wi-Fi connection struggles. There have been storms in the area recently, and it would not let me do any broadcasting while I was using hotspot for the time being. Without further ado, we're going to start this broadcast, get it underway. The point standings after round 1 at Germany are currently available in the description below. I will have a updated version of the point standings available in the description of every race that happens for the foreseeable future, at least for the remainder of this season. It'll be based off of previous races, so whenever the next round happens, there'll be points that are updated after this race, and I will only be having the classified drivers and countries in the point standings. So currently there are only 10 drivers that are classified in the point standings, and I think 5 countries that are classified. So without further ado, as you would know, if you have not seen any of the previous races in this season, I would highly recommend checking out round 1. But if you have not, the grid order is determined by a random, not a random number generator, but a sort of little spinning wheel that I do. And where you finish in a race does actually bear importance on where you start, because that determines when your grid position is selected. So Fernando Alonso was the winner last time out in Germany, thus meaning that he was the first driver to have his position selected. I put positions 1 through 19 on the wheel, and then I spin it, and every time a driver gets a position selected, that position gets taken off the wheel. So, your grid order for today. Pierre Gasly has been lucky enough to start on pole here. He started from the back last race out in Germany and managed to recover to a points finish. On the rest of the grid, we have Jarno Trulli, runner-up last week out, starts second. Lando Norris struggled all race in Germany. McLaren had a terrible car. Since their car was the worst in Germany, they had the most time, the most ability to work on their car for this race. Hopefully they'll have a better package. Daniel Kvyat is starting 4th. He showed some solid pace and was contending for points at the end of the race. He was in that mix right behind the point scorers. Alex Palou had a solid race in Germany. Aston Martin, Spain, the Spanish team, they were unable to do any modifications to their car, as their car was the winning car, and Spain is currently the leading country in the country's championship. Kimi Raikkonen starting 6th. He showed a lot of promise as well, having started from the back in round 1. Then Takuma Sato had a terrible race out in Germany. Hopefully Toyota and Japan have done a good job of making that car better for this race. Fernando Alonso, winner last time, starting in position 8. He started all the way back, and I think somewhere around 15th last race, and still managed to win. So as long as that car is still competitive, he should have no problem finding his way up to the front. Joseph Newgarden finds himself starting P9. The U.S. cars had a decent race, but not a perfect showing. They'll be looking to make some improvements this race. Elio Castroneves was doing very good towards the earlier part of last race out, but contact with Valtteri Bottas forced him to make an early pit stop, and the timing of that pit stop saw him making an extra pit stop compared to the field, which threw him at the back of the field. Yuki Tsunoda did a decent job in a car that seemed pretty terrible out in Germany, so we'll see if he can get anything done here in Austria. Antonio Giovinazzi could have won last time out in Germany, but a mistake he made in the final chicane at the Nürburgring GP circuit saw him spin out and lose multiple positions, falling from the lead to his eventual 4th place finish. Pagenaud starts 13th. He was the last driver to clinch points at Germany, and the France Alpine team have had the ability to work on their car a little bit, so maybe they'll have more pace here. Kyle Larson had a decent showing last time out in Germany. I believe he finished P6. Let's see if he can make his way through the field today. Valtteri Bottas will be starting 15th, which is some pretty terrible luck because he started back here somewhere towards the back of the pack in Germany. Speaking of Germany, Sebastian Vettel is the lead driver for Germany off the grid today, starting in 16th, stuck at the back of the grid again, while Nico Hulkenberg, pole sitter last time out, now has to make his way through the field if he wants to score points today. Felipe Massa started further up the grid in Germany and managed to get a podium finish, finding himself third and carrying Brazil to third in the Country's Championship. Lewis Hamilton finished in this position in Germany and now will be starting here in Austria and hoping not to finish here for 2 races in a row. And I've decided that maybe, just for the future, I didn't do it last race because the D only hit me now, the safety car will be, the livery of the safety car will be based on what police cars may look like in the country that the race is taking place in. Without further ado, let's get this race underway. Looks like we've got a slightly damp track here as down into turn 1. All the cars go. Moves around the outside. Antonio Giovinazzi tries to go around the outside. Kyle Larson and Simon Pagenaud having a battle. Pagenaud did not have a great jump off the line. Gasly maintains his lead into 1. These cars are going very slow. Pagenaud still fighting with Larson, wants to gain that position. He's smashing middle, has to defend very well. Bottas gets a good run out of the corner, and it looks like he has the position, but now he has to attack Larson. Can he get him? Valtteri Bottas making his way through the field. He's up to 14th. Can he go down the inside of Simon Pagenaud into the next corner? Valtteri Bottas off to a flying start, but he's unable to get around Pagenaud. Pagenaud keeps nose in, but no, he does. He gets a better drive out of the corner. Valtteri Bottas has jumped up a few places on the start and looks to have a very fast car. As Lewis Hamilton now going down the inside of Felipe Massa. Lewis had a terrible car, terrible race in Germany, and he's trying to make up for that here in Austria today. Pierre Gasly coming down the main stretch. And it looks like I see turn signals. Is that a turn signal on? Yes, it looks like all the field is coming in. Are they on the intermediate tires on a dry circuit? Yeah, it looks like everybody's must be on the intermediate tires while we have a dry circuit. Everyone is in. We had a damp circuit. The damp circuit's drying out. Everybody is coming down for tires, as is the safety car. Will Pierre Gasly and the French team be able to get the car out and retain the lead here? It does look like intermediates are going on the cars, but I can confirm that's not what's happening. Oh, they're running soft tires. All the teams have chosen to run soft tires. This is the first time we've seen this compound. Everybody seeming to hold their positions on pit exit. Pierre Gasly maintains the lead for France, but he's got a hungry Jarno Trulli behind him. Lando Norris finding himself still in third, but Alex Palou has had a very fast car. Fiat running 5th. Sato, Raikkonen, Alonso, Newgarden. Oh, looks like we may have had a little bit of sliding down there. Car getting loose. It looked like Elio Castroneves struggling for traction out of the corner. Jarno Trulli's trying to go down the inside of Pierre Gasly. He forces him wide. Jarno Trulli into the lead of the race. Jarno Trulli makes quick work of Pierre Gasly as it's raining again. There's rain on the circuit. Everybody's just come in to put on the soft tires, and I hear rain hitting the track. Not enough to run the intermediate tires yet. There's a little bit of rain on the circuit. No one stayed out. Will anyone come in this lap? Will they stay out? What is the deal? What is going on? Rain causing confusion early race. They're staying out. No one seems to be pitting yet. teams haven't labeled it's time for the intermediates yet, but will any of the cars further back in the pack take a risk? Will they take a gamble? We're approaching wet weather conditions very quick as Kyle Larson's down in 19th. Something has to have gone wrong for him. Everyone's staying out so far. Jarno Trulli holds the lead. Kimi Raikkonen finds himself where he started. Valtteri Bottas is up to P11. He's had an electric start. Now looking to get around the Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda. The rain lights are on all these cars. The rain doesn't seem too heavy. The track is sort of at a changeover point right now. Everybody's struggling for traction out of turn 4. That's turn 3. Oh, no. It's weird how they can... No, that's turn 3. It should be turn 2, though. Valtteri Bottas still finding himself in a good position after a very impressive start. Felipe Massa making up a few positions on the start. Lewis Hamilton had a good start. Kyle Larson, on the other hand, did not. Jarno Trulli finds himself in the lead. There is rain on the circuit. There is plenty of water on track. You can see the spray starting to come up from the tires. Will they come in for the intermediate tires? Will they stay out? They still seem to have some grip. Water still seems to be picking up. Trulli, no indicators yet. Jarno Trulli stays out. Pierre Gasly stays out. Alex Palou stays out. Daniel Kvyat stays out. Rain is picking up on the circuit. Kimi Raikkonen has damage. So does Fernando Alonso, the two former Formula One world champions, with damage, having to pit for repairs. Will they be taking the intermediate tires, or will they be continuing on the tires that they already have on the car? No one else has come into the pits. This would be a great time for these two to make a potential strategy choice based on the rain. We'll see what they do. Are they going to come in for damage repairs, come in for tires? Raikkonen's come in, so has Alonso. Let's see, alright, they both get damage repairs. It looks like they have retained the soft tires. That's a shame. Two former Formula One world champions pitting very early in the race and potentially out of it. Championship leader potentially out of contention for this race. Looks like the rain may have ceased as the track drying out in certain places. Jarno Trulli retains his lead. Alex Palou has made his way past Pierre Gasly, and now Daniel Kvyat might be trying to take the podium spot away from the Frenchman. Lando Norris down in 5th. Joseph Newgarden has made it up to 7th. Valtteri Bottas is in P9, trying to get around Tsunoda, but also not trying to let Helio Castroneves get through. Valtteri Bottas passed by Castroneves. Helio Castroneves did not enjoy his time at Larson. Helio Castroneves is still on the intermediate tires. Helio Castroneves never pitted. Or did he take another intermediate? How did Castroneves end up on the inters? And how come he's the only car on the inters? Sebastian Vettel enters the pits. Antonio Giovinazzi and Felipe Massa and Sebastian Vettel have all made contact with each other and are finding themselves in a bad situation. Simon Pagenaud still running the intermediate tires as well. Confusion on tires throughout the whole field. Helio Castroneves finds himself 8th. He must have some grip on those intermediate tires. But as the track dries out, he's going to be put in a tough situation. He goes around the outside of Joseph Newgarden, tries to get traction on the exit. Did Newgarden get enough traction to hold his position? No, he did not. Helio Castroneves is making waves on that intermediate tire. It's a softer compound than the standard soft, but as it is a softer compound, it will wear quicker. these soft tires that the rest of the field are running are going to wear very slowly, as the damp conditions on circuit are going to help aid in tire wear. Takuma Sato, another IndyCar driver, runs the 500 every year, as far as I know, and a former Formula One driver as well. Castroneves is going to want to make as much progress on the intermediate as he can, as there's a very good chance that he's going to have to pit within the next couple of laps if the track dries off. Looks like the water on the circuit has stayed at a certain level. It's maintaining the same level, and the curbs also very wet, as those are not the racing line, and that part of the track's not going to be getting dried up as much. He can take the curbs and not have to worry about the risk, and cool down his tires while doing so. Castroneves running wide. Daniel Kvyat managed to make his way around Pierre Gasly while we were looking. Gasly has no straight line speed at all by the looks of it. France team able to work on their car. The Russian Athlete Federation able to try and tune up that Porsche. Good enough for third, as Alex Palou has made his way past Jarno Trulli. Alex Palou, his teammate Fernando Alonso, unable to capitalize on a changeable condition event. Alex Palou has not been shy here. He's taken, what I'm trying to say, he's taken the lead for Spain here, picking it up right where his teammate Fernando Alonso left off last time out in Germany. We have windshield wipers on. Do we have more rain coming? If rain gets heavier, Helio Castroneves is one of the only drivers on the intermediate tires right now. Kyle Larson finds himself on the intermediates. Simon Pagenaud finds himself on the intermediates. And I hear rain. The rain is getting heavier. The rain is getting heavier. Helio Castroneves is currently in 5th position. If the rain continues to get heavier, Helio Castroneves could find himself leapfrogging the field and getting the lead. Helio Castroneves set a personal best, as Kimi Raikkonen currently holds the fastest lap. He finds himself on the slick tires. That was a bad decision between him, his team, and the team. Fernando Alonso, Alex Palou now. That track is getting soaked. Alex Palou, he's getting loose out of the corner. Trulli gets a better drive off. It is very wet out there. Helio Castroneves is up to 4th. And on the intermediate tires, still sliding around. He should be able to get around Daniel Kvyat without too much trouble. But the rain, as quickly as it picked up, seemed to end just about immediately after as well. These are patches of rain, and patches of rain. But it looks like this is a more consistent bout of rain. Helio Castroneves makes a little bit of contact, but there's no damage. He gets his way around Daniel Kvyat. Do the 2 leaders come in? Jarno Trulli has a better car in these wet conditions. He has more stability than Alex Palou does. He's right on Palou's rear bumper. Palou keeping it under control. Doesn't lose the back of the car. Here are the leaders. Helio Castroneves is making up insane amounts of time. Do we see the turn signals? Are the leaders diving down? They're staying out. No, Jarno Trulli isn't. He slides entering the pit lane. No, Jarno Trulli is going to take the intermediate tires. Alex Palou has elected to stay out. Helio Castroneves, his tires have worn a bit, but with the wetter circuit, they should halt. The wear should halt. Kvyat comes into the pits. Will Valtteri Bottas come down? No. Very few cars selecting to make a pit stop. Jarno Trulli waiting to get into his box so the team can service him. Soft tires coming off. New tires going on. What tires have they chose? Putting fuel in the car. Intermediate tires for Jarno Trulli. Daniel Kvyat, tires on, fueling the car. And I'm suspecting it's intermediates for him as well. Indeed. Elio Castroneves on the tail of Alex Palou, but the track is drying up already. Jarno Trulli made a quick decision, trying to take advantage of the rain cell that came through, but certain parts of the track are drier than others as Castroneves finds himself behind Palou. Certain parts of the circuit look like they might be better for the slicks. Other parts of the circuit look like they might be better for the intermediates. Elio Castroneves wants to take the lead. He caught up to Palou big time while the rain hit hard, but it looks like the track is dry for the time being and the rain seems to have seeded. I don't see windshield wipers. Alex Palou made a good decision by staying out. Obviously, he knew something that the other drivers didn't, as he stays out, and Elio Castroneves tries to pressure him from behind for the lead. Elio Castroneves now down the straight. He has a slipstream, but that Aston Martin has been one of the faster cars in the straight line, but so has that Corvette. Castroneves is going to need to get a better drive off the corner, off of one of these corners than Palou to try and get a move made here, and he does. The intermediate seems to have just a little more grip, a little more traction on some of these corner exits. But it's a tough pass to make. Alex Palou is not... Oh, but he's going to go for it! He slides on the exit, and that forces Palou wide. Palou struggling for traction. That was not the cleanest move ever, but it's going to give him a big gap to Palou. Valtteri Bottas finds himself sitting on the podium. Good recovery race. Didn't have a great time out in Germany, and now he finds himself in a very good position. Joseph Newgarden gets his way around Takuma Sato, having a much better race this time out than last time. Kyle Larson has made it back up to 7th on the intermediate tires. That's good. He started outside the points this time around, and he's already found himself up to 7th, and as long as the track stays damp for a little while longer, he should be able, and as will Castroneves, they should both be able to extend their tires long enough to pit for a hard and fuel that'll get them to the end. Elio Castroneves has a few seconds gap to second place Palou now, but his tires are going to start wearing. He has to figure out when he can pit. It looks like it's based on fuel. A full tank should be able to get him pretty far, but not 40 minutes. A full tank in that Corvette will last under 40 minutes by the looks of it. It'll last a little over 30, so Castroneves is going to need to extend this stint by about another 7 or 8 minutes as he sets a purple first sector on the intermediate tire. He needs to go about 7, maybe 8 minutes longer on that tire to not have to make 2 pit stops in this race. Kyle Larson, on the other hand, he's doing a little better on fuel than Castroneves. Larson can probably get away with pitting 2 or 3 minutes earlier and still be able to make it without having to do another stop. But Castroneves' tires, the rears are wearing heavy. There's no way he's going to be able to get around the circuit that many more times before his tires die out. The intermediate gamble looked great, but the further this run goes, the worse it starts to look. Jarno Trulli running 8th. Kimi Raikkonen has recovered all the way up to 9th after his problems with Alonso. And Fernando Alonso finds himself stuck back in P18. What happened there? Hasn't had much pace here, which is surprising because his teammate Alex Palou has had more than enough pace here today. Castroneves still holds the lead. He set a 1:48.3. Palou behind, only able to do a 1:49.3. Castroneves a second quicker. Apparently these intermediates still have some pace, but they're burning up quick. Castroneves gonna try his best to extend that tire. He's extending his lead, but if he has to pit one more time than Palou, that gap's not gonna matter. Newgarden having a much better day. He's in fourth now. Takuma Sato also having a better day, but he's got Kyle Larson behind him and Pierre Gasly behind him. Although Gasly has not had a very impressive showing. Although with the early pit stop confusion, there is a good chance that Pierre Gasly may not even have to come in. He might have been able to get away with the one pit stop on lap 1. The French team was close to pulling a zero-stop race in Germany. Depending on how long it takes the track to dry out, if it doesn't rain again, or doesn't rain enough for cause to move to a wet tire, Pierre Gasly could easily find himself not stopping again as Kyle Larson moves his way past Takuma Sato for 5th, and Pierre Gasly follows suit to take 6th off the Japanese driver. But Sato has the inside line in the next corner. But Pierre Gasly not able to make the move, as Kimi Raikkonen now dispatches Jarno Trulli with no problem. Looks like the intermediate tires may have reached the end of their pace. Alex Palou there, almost 2/10 quicker than Helio Castroneves that lap. Looks like the slicks have finally become the better tire. Kyle Larson now 5th, making it a 4-5 for the U.S. team. Newgarden has a 1:51.0. Kyle Larson also a 1:50.0, a whole second quicker, but Takuma Sato trying to fight back for that position, as Pierre Gasly now has Kimi Raikkonen behind him, trying to get back up to his starting position. Only 2 spots back from where he started. Jarno Trulli started P2, but he has his windshield wipers on. That means we could have more rain coming. There is rain. Rain has returned. I can hear the rain picking up. This is what Helio Castroneves needed. This is what Kyle Larson needed. Simon Pagenaud needed this as well, if he hasn't already come in for new tires. Pagenaud is exiting the pits now, putting on a new set of intermediates. Certain parts of the circuit are getting really wet, other parts are staying somewhat dry. Helio Castroneves coming by. No intentions of pitting, I assume. If the rain starts to get heavy, and it is, rain is getting very heavy by the looks of it, Helio's tire should manage to last a lot longer now. Palou is coming in. Valtteri Bottas should follow him in. This is a drenched circuit. Valtteri Bottas has turned on his signal. He will be coming down. Kyle Larson, now 4th, has overtaken teammate Joseph Newgarden. Helio Castroneves is going to extend his lead, as he did not have to pit for an intermediate tire. He already had one on. Kyle Larson coming out of the final corner should inherit P2. Alex Palou yet to enter his stall. Here he is now coming in. 4 tires and fuel for Alex Palou. Jarno Trulli is going to recover some positions, but he has front end damage. He's acquired front end damage. He's going to have to come in the preceding lap. Alex Palou, pit exit now. Here comes Trulli out of the corner. He's going to be ahead of Palou. Gasly coming in for a service. Massa was already on the intermediate tire. How many positions will he make up? Valtteri Bottas comes out P6. Daniel Kvyat came onto the intermediate tires earlier by the looks of it. He finds himself in 7th. Gasly out of the pits at 8th. Massa comes around faster than Gasly, who's only just getting back up to speed. Can he take P8? Tucks in behind. Sato 10th. Newgarden down to 11th. Raikkonen down to 12th. Lando Norris has taken the heavy wets. Only driver in the field to elect for the heavy wets. Not true. Tsunoda has taken them. Hulkenberg has taken them. Castro Neves. Looks like his tire rate has slowed down. He's going to stick to his intermediate tires. And he's going to stick to his very huge lead over second place Larson. And then third place Trulli, fourth place Palou. Palou has the best tires of the top four when it comes to wear. But Castro Neves has such a huge lead that it looks like he's going to be cruising to a win, as that is Fernando Alonso finally coming in. Putting on the soft tires? What? Alonso is over a lap down now. He's just been put a lap down. The team put on the softs. Hamilton is on the soft tires. Jarno Trulli is pitting on the intermediate tires. Is his team repairing damage, or are they also going to make that soft tire mistake? Fernando Alonso, is he going to have any grip on that soft tire? It looks like this part of the circuit is a little drier. Alonso is crawling. What a terrible race for Alonso. This team strategy is not worked out at all for Alonso here. The big winners today are Castro Neves and Kyle Larson. Antonio Giovinazzi doing well. Jarno Trulli exits the pits. Both him and some in. Since he is exiting the final corner now. Where is Lando Norris? Lando Norris is on pit exit. Castro Neves not going to put him a lap down. Not quite. Norris also puts on the soft tire. So does Tsunoda, so does Hulkenberg. Castro Neves is going to come through to lap all of them. Castro Neves lapping cars. That's how good he's doing. Castro Neves does indeed lap Lando Norris. Kyle Larson remains second. Fernando Alonso still struggling. What is going on with some of these tire strategies? We have drivers on the softs. The wet would be quicker than the soft right now. Alonso's last lap is a 2:21, which was a pit exit lap. We'll have to compare his lap to Castro Neves' lap that he's currently on. Castro Neves, depending on how the rain is, as it has been very on and off today, track has not had a chance to fully dry out. Castro Neves should be able to go to the end on one more pit stop, as long as his team doesn't join in on the whole blundering the pit strategy thing that we've had going on, apparently. Castro Neves is going to need to take pit stop soon if those tires continue to wear, but it looks like, and it'll be close, but he should have enough fuel. Valtteri Bottas finds himself in an impressive 5th position. Felipe Massa running 6th, currently, meaning that Brazil is doing the best of any country today so far. Jarno Trulli, he's had struggles all day. looking to pass Pierre Gasly to reclaim a points position. Newgarden's also going to want to return to the points positions. He's had some problems. He was running really good earlier. He was up as high as 4th. Vettel is still on the intermediates, while his teammate Hulkenberg is on the softs. Fernando Alonso's last lap was at 2 minutes 5. Castroneves 1:51.6. That's a 14-second difference. And Castroneves is going to have his tire die on him within either by the end of this lap or by the end of the next lap. So, I'd say pit the car at the end of lap 17. They'll have made it beyond the halfway point, and they'll definitely make the end on fuel. But then, that begs the question. The cars with more fuel can go longer. The cars with better tires can go longer. Does Helio Castroneves take a soft tire? The intermediate won't last forever. Yes, he has a huge gap to Kyle Larson. He probably has about a pit stop on Kyle Larson. That team can that team afford to put on a new intermediate, which seems to be the better tire right now by quite a lot, and then have to pit again for a soft when the track dries up? Or do they take the soft tire now in hopes that the track dries up quickly and the soft tires become the better tire a lot faster? Fernando Alonso is about to cross the line. 3 seconds quicker than he was last lap round. Now his gap, well, his gap is still quite large on lap to what Castroneves said. Castroneves said a 150.5 compared to a 202, so now it's only about 12 seconds gap. And Castroneves has a left rear tire down. Left rear tire down for Helio Castroneves. He's going to have to pit. He can't drive on that tire. Tire has gone down. Will Castroneves, in that case, be pitting this lap? Indeed, just as we suspected. But what tire is going to go on that machine? Will it be the intermediate? Will it be the soft tire, the medium tire, the hard tire? I think with the track being damp, the soft tire is probably the better idea if they're going to go for a slick, as the pit lane is still soaking wet. By the looks of it, you would say that they have intermediate tires for Castroneves, but we won't know until he exits. The sun is coming out. New tires going on Castroneves' car. Now it's time for him to take fuel. Here comes Kyle Larson now, lapping the cars that Castroneves has already made his way around. Castroneves exiting the pits. New set of intermediates for Helio Castroneves. Will he beat Kyle Larson out of the pits, though, and retain the lead? Castroneves on pit exit. Here comes Kyle Larson. He's behind Helio. Helio maintains the lead. And Larson's most recent lap is 5 seconds slower than Castroneves' lap, but he has bigger problems. Problems in the shape of Alex Palou, who is making his way around Larson and Castroneves. Castroneves has been held up by a lap car. Lando Norris has just cost Helio Castroneves not only the lead, but second place. I've had to turn off flag rules because for some reason when there's a blue flag, the leader will refuse to lap a car. Alex Palou takes the lead. He leads the race once again, but now he's stuck. No, he doesn't want to get stuck behind the lap car of Yuki Tsunoda, who is spinning. Yuki Tsunoda has spun around. He's off the circuit. Yuki Tsunoda. Will he rejoin safely? Find a spot to rejoin, but was it safe? Antonio Giovinazzi, Felipe Massa going to get held up. How will they get around him? without too much problem. Neves has re-overtaken Kyle Larson. Neves has a fresh set of intermediates. I think that was definitely the right call. Tsunoda is on the soft tire and he just lost his car. This means that Neves can extend his tire longer than anyone else in the field. Just about. Palou, does he have enough fuel to finish? If this track stays in this condition for the rest of the race, we could be seeing the intermediate as the favored tire all the way to the end. But the intermediate is wearing relatively quick. Palou struggling on that corner exit, so is Elio. Larson, this seems to be the only spot that he doesn't really struggle at, but his tires are significantly more worn than the two cars in front of him's tires. Felipe Massa has half spun, exiting turn 3. Gives both Bottas and Kvyat a good chance. Has caught all the way up to his teammate, just about. Felipe Massa's tires are just about gone. Here comes Bottas down the inside of not only Kvyat, but the lap car. Raikkonen now has to get his way around the lap car. And he does get held up just a little bit, but he gets around without much of a problem. Can Neves keep up with Alex Palou, or is Palou going to run away to an easy victory? No, Palou is coming into the pit. So is Neves. Are they coming in for the soft tires? Here comes Larson. No damage for either of those three cars. Looks like all the intermediate tire runners are coming in for the soft tires. Even the lap car, which is already running the soft tire. The lap car. Alonso has just set a 152.7. Palou and Neves have made their way out of the pits, so has Larson now. Bottas, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Massa, Tsunoda, Sato, Trulli, Newgarden, Pierre Gasly, still getting the new soft tires on his car. Same with Vettel. Simon Pagenaud running 14th now, already on the soft tire, but way too far back to have any shot at making up positions. Alex Palou, Davis find themselves on the best strategy at the moment. Fernando Alonso not too far off on the distance, but all he would be able to do right now is unlap himself. He currently finds himself on lap 19, a lap behind the leaders. And would need a miracle to get the lead lap back. He is on track to finish 17th. A far cry from the win he had last time out. Neves and Palou seem to have good pace. Both of them very even. We'll see who has the better first timed lap on the slick tire. Well, I should say the better out lap. Neves looked to be the one, but he just got a little loose behind Alex Palou there. Palou's out lap. 2017. 2017 as well for Neves. We got cars entering the pits. Oh, we got a slide. Not a spin, just a slide. Daniel Kvyat, still on the intermediate tires, had front end damage. Unless he pitted for a new one. Giovinazzi has rear end damage. Will either of those drivers make a tire change? Kvyat now getting the damage repaired. Retains that intermediate tire. And Giovinazzi retains his tire. Trulli now finds himself in the points again, as is Newgarden. Palou and Castroneves relatively close together. As the two Finns find themselves 4th and 5th, Bottas trying to make that 3rd and 5th. Not quite able to get around Larson at the first time of asking, if that is the first time of asking. Felipe Massa trying to pressure Kimi Raikkonen. These two former Ferrari teammates in the years that Kimi Raikkonen won his championship and the year that Massa almost won his. Valtteri Bottas wants to make his way around Kyle Larson, wants to get on the podium after having a disappointing result where damage kept him away from the points in Germany. Raikkonen had a solid showing in Germany, wants to have another solid showing out here this time. Massa was on the podium in Germany. Finds himself in 6th behind Kimi Raikkonen as we speak now. Elio has a good drive. Can he find a lane to get Alex Palou? Alex Palou blocking the dry line. He's going to force Elio Castroneves to a wet line. He tries the bump and run. Palou gets loose. It's a perfect executed bump and run. Elio Castroneves into the lead. The, I believe, 4-time Indy 500 champion finds himself in the lead here today, about to lap Lando Norris. For a second time, I believe. Yeah, for a second time. Great, stellar job by Castroneves. Palou is going to use the lap car of Lando Norris to his advantage to get back around Elio Castroneves. Castroneves is going to have to be furious. Oh, but Palou, he's off the circuit. He ran wide. Gives the position back up to Castroneves right away. As certain parts of the track have completely dried out by now. Palou struggling out there in these changeable conditions. It looks like, I don't know, where it's just unlapped himself, but then got lapped again immediately afterwards. Kyle Larson still holding off Valtteri Bottas for the time being. Felipe Massa has already gotten around Kimi Raikkonen, but those two are going to start catching the cars that are battling ahead of them if they're not battling themselves. Which, from all that I can see, they clearly are, as Raikkonen is currently on a predicted fastest lap. Felipe Massa's well wide. Spends a lot of time rejoining, and that, well, with that, he can just about kiss his chances of getting a finish ahead of Raikkonen goodbye. He's going to have to do a lot of work to catch back up. Valtteri Bottas finally gets the move done on Kyle Larson, forcing him to the wetter part of the circuit. Kumasato running in the points, happy with his performance. Had to prove that he was the better driver between him and Kamui Kobayashi to be driving this car. While Yuki Tsunoda has taken over as the driver struggling terribly, but not entirely to any fault of his own. On the other hand, Lewis, maybe not the best strategy that we've seen today, but sadly finds himself where he was last time out, in dead last. Castroneves leads. Big lead from Palou. Palou has to get back around Norris again. Seems like it's been an endless loop. Palou laps Norris. Palou runs significantly wide. Lando Norris laps himself. Palou relaps him. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Palou again getting loose. Lando Norris ceding the position, running wide. Can Palou hold that position ahead of Larson on track and not run wide again? See how far Castroneves is ahead. There's another lap car in between Palou and Castroneves. And that car would be Fernando Alonso. Elio leads. Palou second. Valtteri Bottas third. Kyle Larson fourth. Kimi Raikkonen catching Larson fifth. Massa possibly catching Raikkonen on a personal best at the moment. Definitely catching Raikkonen sixth. Raikkonen's going to have to make quick work of Larson to keep the raging Felipe Massa behind him. Surprisingly, we've had a relatively tame race as of recent. A few overtakes. Nothing too boring. Bottas could find himself chasing down Palou for second. Massa has insane pace. Either Raikkonen saving his tires or his fuel, or he's just not able to put down the power and go as quickly around the circuit right now as Felipe Massa is. Castroneves' last lap was a 47.3, Palou's a 46.8. After setting a 55.2. Palou is picking up the pace, trying to make up for the mistakes he's made. You can see 55, 53. That's 2 laps with big mistakes in a row. Castroneves sets his best lap. Raikkonen's best lap is faster than what Massa has put down. Oh, Massa's getting loose. Can he save it? What a save from Felipe Massa. Kimi Raikkonen goes wide. He saves the car, but he loses the position to Massa. Drama in the final corner here in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. Kyle Larson still has fourth, but he has an even faster car to defend from now. And he has damage to the rear of his car. Raikkonen has damage to the front of his. Everything falling apart for Raikkonen and Larson here. Massa now has to navigate his way past a damaged car. And he was purple on track for the best lap. Massa, did he get around with no contact? He made a huge contact with Larson there. 4th, 5th, 6th, all with damage, and Raikkonen's had a huge crash. What happened to Raikkonen? Coming out of the corner. Too much water. Tried to get the car turned around, but couldn't get the car turned, found himself in the wall again, reversing, getting back under power. Takuma Sato approaching, has to wait for Sato to rejoin the track. Raikkonen down to 7th. This could easily be Raikkonen falling out of the points today. What a shame. Vettel and Giovinazzi have come down the pits. They both seem to have damage from contact with each other. Castroneves keeping his car clean. About to lap 15th place, Nico Hulkenberg. Palou starting to go, maybe not massively faster, but consistently a bit faster than Castroneves. He still has a lot of work to do to catch up, though. As Felipe Massa, Kyle Larson both come down to the pits. Raikkonen still got a little ways to go before he gets his way to the pits. Massa has more damage to repair than Larson. No, never mind. Both managed to get wheel damage in some area of the car. They actually managed to get adjacent damage. Takuma Sato too far back to capitalize? Or not? He may be too far back to capitalize off of Massa, but can he capitalize off of Larson? No! He capitalizes off the both of them! What about Newgarden? Catches up. He now finds himself just behind his teammate, who he is traveling at a higher rate of speed than. But his windshield wipers are on. You know what that means. That means it's raining. Certain areas of the circuit, it looks like it could be raining. I see windshield wipers. It's raining! And it doesn't seem to be raining lightly, it's raining hard. Helio Castroneves. Oh, we've got a spin! A slide. Castroneves has been cut out. That's the Ferrari around. Castroneves from the lead. Catastrophe as the rain makes it hard to get out of the corners. Palou finds himself second. Sliding in, Giovinazzi almost collects him. Valtteri Bottas third. Takuma Sato now running fourth. Heavy rain in certain parts of the circuit. It looked like it was very, very fast and very, very short. Maybe persistent rain in other parts of the circuit. I don't see windshield wipers for leader Helio Castroneves. It just started raining very hard for a very short period of time. Takuma Sato has Felipe Massa behind him. Kyle Larson and Newgarden are battling now. Looks like Sato isn't going to have to worry about those two. He should have a top 5 at this point. If people would stop sending messages, that would really be nice. If I open up the PS app, it'll stop giving notifications on the PlayStation, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully that helps. Those get in the way. Massa almost drops the car. He does! He does drop the car. Kyle Larson, Joseph Newgarden. Whoa, Massa! And Larson make contact again. Felipe Massa. Very, very inappropriate time to rejoin the circuit. Not aware of the cars around him at all. That's definitely going to be a visit to the stewards after the race. And potentially a grid penalty. Kyle Larson getting caught up with damage, no fault of his own. Palou struggling. Bottas possibly thriving in these conditions. That lap he set 8 seconds around, 8 seconds quicker than Palou's. Palou must have had a moment or two. Sato has consistently... Oh, and his teammate spins! Sato has consistently been one of these slower drivers up at the front. But he's been consistent, and he hasn't been getting into wrecks. Massa is now in, Larson's now in, Joseph Newgarden up into 5th place. Neither Larson nor Massa will be able to challenge him for the remainder of this race unless something crazy happens. Point, it's Joseph Newgarden's job to try and hunt down Takuma Sato for 4th. Raikkonen may be able to somewhat catch back up to the two cars that he tangled with a few laps ago, thanks to their damage. He gets ahead of them both. Kimi Raikkonen back up to 7th. Only one position away from where he started, and Pierre Gasly is one of the slower drivers out on the track right now. Bearing that he has enough time, Raikkonen could find himself returning to the position he started in, as Kyle Larson, now behind Daniel Kvyat, going to be looking to get around him. Castroneves is into the pits. He has front end damage. Did he get that from a lap car? Let's find out. Castroneves on lap 29 spun. Tried to rejoin the circuit, but Nico Hulkenberg was running wide while he did. That's a shame for Castroneves. The last thing he wanted to be doing was pitting this late in the race for damage. He's going to forfeit the lead to Alex Palou. Valtteri Bottas is going to be in 2nd place. Castroneves has not made it to his stall yet. Takuma Sato is a good whiles behind. Castroneves could still hold on to 3rd place and be the 2nd Brazilian to be on a podium. Sato is about to exit the final corner. Castroneves on pit exit. Palou 1.4 seconds quicker than Valtteri Bottas on that last lap. Somewhere in the range of 3 laps to go right now. There does not seem to be any rain. Both Ferraris in just about dire straits as Jarno Trulli finds himself in 10th place, a whiles ahead of Larson, but only clinging on to a single point, with Giovinazzi, I believe, potentially a lap down. I think Giovinazzi's on the lead lap, but he's still 15th. Last car on the lead lap, potentially. In massive danger of ending up a lap down due to the timing. Palou just needs the track to stay dry and to make no more mistakes, and he will come home to a comfortable victory and make it 2 in a row for the country of Spain. Felipe Massa makes his way back around Kimi Raikkonen again, but they tangled. These two have been getting in trouble all the time, and Kvyat spins into the corner. We have chaos. Let's get the replay. Raikkonen runs wide, gets a little loose. Massa pulls a monkey see, monkey do. These two make contact trying to recover. Kvyat does the same thing. Car spinning, Massa recovers. Trulli gets into Hamilton. Now he is in dire straits. There's a traffic jam. Kyle Larson makes contact, gets involved. Sebastian Vettel, contact, he's involved. We have a calamity going on here. Does Alonso get involved? He slows down. Alonso keeps his nose clean. Fernando Alonso, after an absolute terrible race, could find himself back in the points due to an absolute traffic jam down at turn 3. Italy is actually in shambles after that one. Palou has negotiated the traffic without getting into an accident, and I see a windshield wiper. Do you want to? It's in the upright position. That just seemed odd. Track appears to have dried up from the last bout of rain. Question then, is Palou going on to the penultimate, or is he going on to the final lap here? He may be the only driver to do 2 more laps. Valtteri Bottas is not going to have enough time to do another lap. Valtteri Bottas is about to enter his final lap, but so is Alex Palou. The white flag is flying for Alex Palou here in Austria, and he takes the fastest lap. Can Valtteri Bottas do anything about it? Not a damn thing. Simon Pagenaud, is Pagenaud in 10th? Wow, after all this crazy shit, Pagenaud's in 10th, Alonso's 9th, after being on the most dumb-ass strategy I've seen in my life. Where is Alonso on circuit? Entering turn 3. His teammate following suit. All Palou has to do is not wreck it. But his teammate Fernando does. Gives up P9 to Pagenaud and rejoins the circuit just in front of Valtteri Bottas. Alonso decided to be nice and beat the Spaniard that fucks it up instead of having Palou do it. Palou catching up to Pagenaud. Not much time left, not much track left either. All Palou has to do is negotiate this last set of corners. 4 more turns. And then he can take the checkered flag. Out of the final corner, no mistakes for Alex Palou. And across the line, Alex Palou wins in Austria. Valtteri Bottas comes home for a strong second place finish. Helio Castroneves, it's been an up and down roller coaster race for him. He's led, he's been in second, he's been in third. I'm sure he would have wished to have been in the lead and win this race. He led a majority of it, but he's still going to have something to show for it. Helio Castroneves comes across the line for the last spot on the podium, as Daniel Kvyat crosses the line a lap down. Takuma Sato may not have been the fastest driver out there, but he didn't need to be. P4 for Sato. Joseph Newgarden comes across the line in 5th. Pierre Gasly, in one of the slower cars in the field, is going to manage to pick up good points yet again. Felipe Massa is locked into 7th place at the minimum, as most of the other cars have finished a lap down. Lando Norris finishes 2 laps down? No, he's a lap down. Massa now the only car on track that has not finished. Maybe a far cry from the 3rd place he had last time out, but it's still good points for Brazil and potentially points that could vault them up in the championship. This should have them ahead of Italy, and Felipe Massa steals the fastest lap from Alex Palou on the final lap. Felipe Massa picks up the extra point for fastest lap. Just in time, takes the fastest lap. There you have it. Alex Palou, your winner. Valtteri Bottas, Helio Castroneves round off your podium. For the rest of the field, you have Sato, Newgarden, Gasly, Massa, Raikkonen, Pagenaud, Giovinazzi, Alonso, Trulli, Hulkenberg, Vettel, Larson, Kvyat, Tsunoda, Norris, and Hamilton. As the Brits managed to finish 18th and 19th 2 races in a row. That's pitiful. That's just pitiful. And with that, let's see what changes we have at the top of the standings. Alonso only managed a 10th place finish, if I'm correct. Or no. Did he fall to 11th in that final lap? 1, 2, 3. He did. Alonso didn't score points, so that's a shame. Won last time out, had the fastest lap, has nothing to show for an absolute shocker of a race here. Not even all of it his fault. He did make his mistakes, but the team also lost him about 40 seconds at least by putting him on the diabolical tire strategy. Alex Palou should be taking over the lead of the championship now. With no problem. Let's take a look at the standings as of right now. All right. All right. Alex Palou had 10 points going into this race. He will have 35 now, and no one else is near in the point standings. Looks like, sadly, the way I had, oh, it thinks that this is Gran Turismo Sport. This is Gran Turismo 7. Yeah, but based on that, looks like Alex Palou should have a 9-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, as Felipe Massa was one of the drivers ahead of him, and Massa finished 7th with the fastest lap, so that would put him on points. That would have him 12, 10, 8, 6 points. So he'd get only 7 points, and that would only put him up to 22. Looks like Palou jumps up to first in points, but Fernando Alonso only slots down to second, meaning Spain has a 1-2 Drivers' Championship. At this point, yeah, they're going to be 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. Well, thank you to anyone who tuned in. And if you're watching this race as a replay, either or, I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next race, where we'll be heading off to Japan at the famed Suzuka Circuit. Another track where it is known for rain, and based on the forecast that I've been given, it's going to look pretty wet. And I'm not talking patches of rain like we had in Austria here. If the forecast is anything right, it's more or less going to be pouring rain, intermediates, wets, with potential dry periods throughout. We'll have to see. Hopefully everybody has a good day or night, and I will see you next time out.